The Big Show with Night and Day. Anytime is a good time for a thick shake from Night and Day.
Welcome.
This is big.
To the Hauraki Big Show.
Really big.
With Jason Hoyte, Minogue and Keyzie.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this Wednesday afternoon, the 22nd of January, 2025. And you, my friends, are listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Night and Day.
Wow.
It was really good from me.
And me.
I'm just curious why you always go treble.
Sorry?
Why you always go treble.
that like higher?
High, yeah.
Because I'm not very good at going,
You don't have the bulls for that, do you?
what I
Keyzie?
do very much have the bulls.
Hey, great to have your company wherever you're joining us. As always, Moki, looking like a stallion. You stud. How's life?
Going pretty grouse, you mad dog, you sick son of a bee. Sadly, carrying a bit of an injury, but you won't hear me banging on about it, man.
Sure.
Smashed myself against a spa pool on Saturday night. I was good as gold until Sunday, and then I had this pain, and I was like, what's that from? And then I worked it out. Went to the doctor today. I've got to get an X-ray, and I've got to get some other kind of scan. It wasn't CT, Keyzie. No, it was something else. Because I might have broken ribs, which I don't care about.
You can't do anything.
That's part of the course. That's what I said to him. I said, what does it matter if I've got broken ribs? You're not going to do anything about it, are you?
Yeah,
Are
totally.
you?
Yeah.
And he said, well, actually, you might have might have damaged your liver, which sits underneath the right rib.
Oh, you've
the
definitely
right rib
damaged
cage
your liver
there.
over the years. No question.
But it might be bleeding profusely. So set me up an appointment to have that checked out, and I'll be going in to have that done Friday week.
Yeah.
Because that's how good things are looking at there in the health service.
Yeah, they're doing so well, eh?
Worth
It's
it, though.
incredible.
Because your accidental fall out of the spa pool was on national TV.
Well, that's the beauty of it. And by national TV, you mean Instagram last night.
There's a social clip up on the Hauraki Big Show. Literally just as Moki...
You can almost see it.
You can almost see it on the broadcast. Just as he almost fell out of the spa pool, they cut away to a wide shot of the ground and we missed it.
And what it does show, Mogi, is your commitment to your performance.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah,
I'll shut up and get on with it, Jase, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, man. Keysie's wearing one of his favourite, now I'd call that a kind of purple T-shirt.
Are you all good?
Or
purple, it's red.
Oh, no, it's crimson.
It's crimson. I'd say crimson.
AKA red.
Crimson.
You just
I think it started out as red. It's like my black T-shirts that are now blue. You know those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
gone
think it's
crimson.
faded out a bit to crimson.
I just feel like I can never have a shirt that's just like a thing. It always has to have this other weird thing. It has
Yeah,
to
I
be
know
crimson.
you're weird like that. You're always choosing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I always, that's what I love about you, Keyzie, is your weird shirts.
That's not all, though.
Oh, and so many other things. Your weird nips.
Jase.
Your buffy hair. I love your hair, by the way. It's looking really relaxed today.
You saying weird makes me feel bad about them again.
Oh, no, weird in a good way.
No, that you can't just say weird in a good way because
Yeah.
now I feel bad.
We're going to talk about it later in the show, but I've had some people get in touch, actually, and want to get into business with you, Keyzie.
Really?
So, of course, that's been coming through. Jase, in the first instance, as your agent. We'll be getting into that. We'll be getting into that later in the show.
Can't wait.
A lot of interest out there for you, Keyzie, and rightly so, mate. Rightly so. Hey, here's the Stone Temple Pilots.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Smashing Pumpkins there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time 11 minutes past 4 o'clock. Fellas, I have some concerns. And I want to bring them up with you because I'll be frank with you, I don't understand how all these things work. But yesterday, when I got home, I was showing my daughter something on my Explore page there on the Instagram.
Right, so that's the page where you hit your little magnifying glass on the bottom right. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it brings up just a page full of stuff.
Full of stuff. And anyway, on this particular page, I was shocked, as was my youngest daughter.
What were you showing her?
There was something that I wanted to show that I'd seen previously, and I wanted to go back to it so she could see it. And on this particular page, I was shocked, nay, horrified, that there are a couple of the squares there where there were, how can I explain this in a very non-sensual way?
Buzzies.
There were buzzies.
Yeah.
There were...
You mean like a scantily clad female?
There was a scantily clad female in a very minute bikini who was heavily chested.
In a sort of mid-60s, 70s?
No, not that. Probably 30 or 40. And my daughter even went, what's that, Dad? Like, she was grossed out by it. And seriously,
She should be too.
The first thing I said out loud was, bloody Mogi. Now, I don't know how these things work, and we talked about this a little bit on our podcast outro today, but somehow Mogi, and you too, Keyzie, somehow your Instagram algorithms have infested mine. I have never looked for scantily clad women who are heavily chested on my Instagram account. Why are they appearing now? You guys have them all the time.
It is a weird one. I mean, I actually probably believe you, Jase, that you don't actually search because I think you probably get a decent enough eyeful here gazing at the people that walk past the window here.
Easy,
you know what I mean?
Easy on.
But that's probably, I understand that's probably just the tip of the iceberg as far as you're concerned. In terms of how other people's algorithms could infect yours, certainly it's not mine, and I can show you mine. My algorithm is completely clean.
Well, you constantly show us yours.
Happy to show Pug Son.
And it's heavily
and
busily
we'll
orientated.
But I know that that's not how it works. It's not by one phone being close to another phone, Keyzie.
No, I don't think so. I've just Googled it here. Interest. You're likely interested in a post based on your past interactions with similar content.
Well, I've never been interested in said posts.
You've never been interested in buzzies.
And I can only say, because you two are constantly walking over to each other going, check this out, Maggie.
No, what the hell was that? That is such a lie.
And Mogi's like, there you go, Keyzie.
Whatever. How come then every time I get served anything like that, it's liked by Hoytey J written on it? Interaction history.
That's what's weird about it, is down the bottom it just shows the people that you know that have also liked it. And you're exactly right, Keyzie. Every single time liked by Hoytey J.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
top comment, Hoytey J.
It's also like that situation where I just mention something. I don't even go on my phone about it. We were talking about this in the podcast, how you mention something and then weirdly on your feed, whatever it is, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, suddenly stuff related to the thing you were talking about weirdly turns up on your phone. What's that about, New Zealand?
Had you been talking about heavily... Have you talking about women with large breasts?
I may have been just in terms of you guys showing me the pictures and stuff.
Don't try it.
But
I know what you're... Because when I was, for example, in the market for safety gear for my bike, I was getting served lots of helmets.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't remember searching, but...
No, but I'm talking about not even putting it on your phone at all, not looking or searching for anything. You're just literally talking, and then all of a sudden you go on your phone an hour later and it's got stuff related to what you were talking about.
What's that about, New Zealand?
Text me, 3483, help me out.
How does it work?
If you can help Hoytey J out, if you just go onto his Instagram, Hoytey J, go into his DMs there and just forward him all the links to those buzzies.
No, don't be doing that. Well, I want to know if anyone else has got this issue with their phone on 3483 as well.
It's a mystery.
Far out, man.
I certainly don't have that issue,
How
Jase.
does it get on there, Jase?
What's that about?
What? Jeez.
How does that work?
Jase, you've done a good job of selling that, man. Like you don't know how it got on there. Good job.
Do you guys know how to do, like, delete your history and stuff? Here's Bon Jovi.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
You're welcome back, you massive backbones. Queens of the Stone Age there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show. We were talking in the last break about algorithms, and I feel like the fellas in the studio here with me, their algorithms have infected and infested my algorithm somehow.
You're talking about Instagram, right?
Instagram. I'm suddenly getting very unseemly type things turning up on my Instagram account, directly, I think, related to Mogi and Keyzie.
Well, what it is you're all of a sudden getting served a lot of images and videos of young women in bikinis.
Yeah, it's not necessarily young, like 30, 40.
That's pretty young, I thought. And I've been doing some research, Jase, and 3483, by the way, feel free to join in the conversation, New Zealand. User engagement. So the way the algorithm works is it favours posts with high engagement, likes, comments, shares, views, especially if they've just been published. Because I know you have a lot of alerts set for certain people. When they post, you get an alert, a notification, right?
Yeah.
Certain people. And so that could be it. And obviously it just learns what you like.
It's probably jumping across, because the other thing that can happen is you get cross-contamination between your searches on your laptop, that sort of thing.
Yeah, true.
So when you're going onto your Instagram, you're probably having lots of Sydney Sweeney sort of content popping up there.
Yeah. And profile searches, like regularly searching for specific words and phrases.
Right.
That will directly affect your algorithm as well. So, you've got so many things that, you just type in without even thinking, and it knows that. And so it goes, well, hang on, how about instead of you searching for it the old-fashioned way, here you go, here's some buzzies.
Yeah.
And because it can also tell, because, of course, you load in your birth date, where you live, all of these sorts of things, all those demographics, right, Keyzie?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. And it goes, okay, the guy of a certain age.
Well, as I say, as I was saying very clearly, you guys are forever going back and forth across the studio, showing each
I don't know
other
what you're
all
talking
these
about.
little reels. Check this out, Keyzie, says Mogi. Check this out, Mogi, says Keyzie. It's always that kind of stuff
Right.
related. I've never had that on my phone, and all of a sudden it's like I've caught your sexual disease, and it's somehow gone.
You can only, as you always say to me, Jase, you can only catch it once.
And also, you did not catch my sexual disease.
Well, just your love of filth, I mean.
Yeah. Well, this 3483 has actually been very helpful. You'd be surprised to know. There's something called cross-device advertising, which Google uses, which suggests ads based on what your phones and etc. on the same Wi-Fi system. You know what I mean? So people on the same Wi-Fi. So which Wi-Fi were you on when that came up? Was it your home Wi-Fi?
No, it was work Wi-Fi.
Yeah, bullshit. It was your home Wi-Fi. Apparently, in Instagram's terms and conditions, they do have access to your microphone on your phone.
Seriously?
So you can go into permissions and turn off the access to that if you want.
Quite seriously, I never knew about that. That's pretty spooky.
I say apparently because this is a text that has come in on 3483 and I've just read it, assuming
Right,
it's truth. Which is a real problem these days. One thing I didn't realise is I've got like a social media agent. It's pretty, which is pretty cool to say out loud on the radio. But basically, someone who, like, if people want to make some funny social videos with old Keyzie, goes through her. One day I had a meeting with her because I'd never had one before. This was last year. And she brings up this program they've got where they can pull all the data about your profile. They go, oh, this is how much engagement you get. This is your amount of followers. And these are your interests. And then she had my 4 interests on Instagram. And she's like, yeah, so it's great because, you're hitting a certain target. You got cars at the top there. Motorbikes was another interest. And then sport. And then the 2 after that were fitness and yoga and health and well-being was the 5th one. And she's like, why is that coming up? And I was like, oh, God, I have no idea.
Fitness and yoga.
That's what I realised. I'm pretty sure that's what,
That's filth.
bikini models would have put, that as their category. And I'm not actively following any of these people.
Oh,
but
you're pretty active.
No, Mike, don't. We're piling it on
that's
Jase
right,
here.
sorry.
Yeah. But there are ways for people to see what you're interested in.
Right.
Also, another piece of advice, which some people around here could probably do with, looking at you, Mogi, is people can see who you're following.
Sure.
So a good way to find out if your mate's filthy or not is to go into who he's following.
I'm only following about 40 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all hot chicks, though.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Jihad there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time 4:37.
Sure is. Hey, fellas there, I wanted to have a little bit of a chat about Christmas and the gifts.
Sure.
The gifts that got given around. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but we had the policy that we're not buying each other anything.
And what was the reason for that?
Because I've got everything I need, and I've got a real thing about people just buying each other crap.
Garbage, yeah,
that
right.
just ends up in the house. I hate that. Like, if I want it during the year, I'll buy it. And so my feeling is Christmas is for the kids.
Right.
And if you need a present as a grown-up, you need to grow up.
How dare you?
Okay.
I don't need one, I need several, but carry on.
That's how I feel anyway. So it came to the day and we had a lot of, we were down in Reefton and we had 25 of our family down there.
Yes.
So a pretty big group, and it went through, and what you do is you start off, you get the kids, right? The kids give out all the presents and they have to wait. Which they don't do. They sneak the presents and they open them.
Yes. So good.
And actually, as soon as you give a kid the first present, they're happy with that. and then you give them another 50.
Yes.
And then they don't like any of them because they've got no value anymore.
Actually, good point.
It's a good system. And anyway, so once everybody had their gifts, I thought, well, I'll give my wife a little surprise here. Now, she's been banging on, as you know, for at least 12 months. I feel like it might be 14 months, about that sick moustache that I've been growing.
That lush
Ginger.
caterpillar bastard on the top of your lip there.
That's right. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd shave it off and I'd surprise her
Yes.
with it, you know.
Right. And in terms of the unveiling of that, did you do it the night before, or did you like go away while the...
I went away, so everybody had their presents all opened, all done.
Yeah.
The room's buzzing, man. No one's going to notice old Mogi sneaking off to the bathroom for a shave. So I went off and shaved it. All gone. It's all gone.
Beautiful.
I go back into the room. I go up to my missus. I have a yarn to her for 4 to 5 minutes. She doesn't notice at all. At all that I've shaved it off.
Yes.
And so then the question becomes, why have I shaved this off? If she never noticed it was there or not there to begin with, then what's the point? And she was daily basis giving it to me about how much she hated it. But then when it's gone, she doesn't even notice it's gone.
So
What do I do? So I just grow up. Do I grow it back now?
So
Yeah, well, maybe... Can I just... Sorry, Keyzie.
no.
Reflect on... You'll be aware of the fact, Mogi, that I recently groomed myself downstairs.
Oh, downstairs, yeah.
And brutally so.
Yes.
As you put it, there was a lot of flesh showing.
Yeah.
And
You gave yourself a number one.
I've been strutting around naked in the bedroom.
Right.
And my wife, who's in bed, doesn't notice a thing. Last night, she was in bed. I stood beside the bed with my leg up on the bed.
Yeah.
The
The sexiest of all the stances.
totally nude, no bush, not a peep,
Nothing.
not a word.
Yeah.
So I hear you, man. It's like she might go, God, you could do with a bit of
Hair down
pruning down there or whatever. But then when you do it, they don't even know that you've done it.
Exactly.
Does this beg the question, does it matter what we look like after a certain point? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I completely
Because
agree.
like if they don't care, they don't react.
I feel like it's you know, if you're in a house and you've got a great view of the ocean.
Yes.
Or something like that, an incredible view across mountains or something like that. To begin with, every day, you're like, oh my God, look at this. And then after a while, you don't even see it.
Yes.
Right.
It's invisible to you. It's just normal. It's just wallpaper.
Sorry, and in this case, the amazing view being Hoytey Jase downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Mogi's magnificent moustache.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Or lack thereof. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
I prefer you with a moustache. Not that it matters because I'm just your work colleague, but I prefer you with a moustache.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
liking the clean look, Mogi.
Thanks, mate.
It's looking good.
Oh, thanks for noticing, fellas.
I think I prefer you with a giant bush, Jase.
Yeah, well, I did used to get it out quite a lot. during
Yeah,
the show,
used to
didn't
get
you?
it
Go,
out,
Oh,
yeah.
there it is.
Hey.
It would be just sort of spring out when I
Yeah.
pulled
Next
the
thing you
folds.
know, it's all over your Instagram algorithm.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
In excess there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon, 10 minutes to 5 o'clock. And Keyzie, how are you doing just in terms of, you know, the whole Nipplegate kind of...
Nipplegate? Is that what they're
it's
calling
not
it?
Nipplegate, you know.
Yeah.
What happened over the weekend, there was a lot of talk about it, a lot
Yeah.
of people making comments about it.
Are you referring to me in a spa pool on national TV,
TV
with giant nips?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
people pretty much having their minds blown by how big they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I was feeling down,
Yeah.
but now that the way you guys have sort of backed me up on it,
man.
I'm kind of full of confidence. You know, I'm feeling positive.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, well, we put up, Pugson did, put up another post last night, and once again, the support for you has been pouring
Or
in.
can I just quickly, you're not putting up these, there was a video of you and me in the spa.
Yeah.
Pugs, can I just, thumbs up or thumbs down, you're not putting them up purely to show off my nips as much as possible, right? That's not the aim? That's not the aim?
It's
Okay,
just
cool.
part of it.
Yeah, it's just a part of the...
Yeah, right.
A large part of the background.
And people have just been, you know, they're just behind you 100%. Rebecca Jones here, she's piped up. She's posted on on Facebook here in the comments, Keyzie. She says, well, hello, Tony Pepperoni.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And I think that's
Is
a
it?
good nickname.
Yeah,
Would
Tony
you be happy with
Pepperoni.
that if we start calling you Tony Pepperoni?
Well, is that like a famous character or something?
Well,
that's all it
I'm
is now.
assuming, you know, soprano there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Cool. And what about this one? I hope Officer Minogue is on the case because there's some unidentified sources right there.
Yeah, that's good because it's funny because it's weaved in your TV show.
that's right.
I don't know if many people knew about that show. Actually, that's good.
This one here is from Nick Winter.
What's he got to say?
Does not skip nipple day.
Yeah, well, that's of course. Every day's nip day, and you got large areolas, fellas. So yeah, what is this break about, or is this just like a?
It's a continuation of the fact that you're feeling good about it. People are reinforcing you in that.
It's a body confidence thing.
Yeah, totally. And Mogi and I just wanted to check in and see how you're going and I am so stoked that you are feeling better and more confident, and that's how you should feel, Keyzie.
100%. I didn't want you to start. Privately worrying again about the nipples. So I just want to bring it up, because a lot of times people will say, "Are you okay?" And we as men say, "Oh, yeah, I'm all good."
Yeah, man, all good.
And then nowadays you're asked to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
And so this is Jason and I just digging a little deeper there.
Yeah.
Because I know that you were worried about getting those bad boys out.
Well, I didn't ever refer to them as bad boys, and it wasn't about getting them out. It was just about taking my shirt off in general. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But how are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Good, man.
Yeah, really good. Well, if the people are behind me, then I guess I'm feeling good.
100% from what I'm reading.
Yeah.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Sorry, it was just a little... The way the music played out, and I'd just been looking at something, it just sort of coincided beautifully. Hey, now
what's
listen,
the name of that band?
Wannadies?
Oh, Wannadies nuts. I think it's Wanna Dies. Or is it Wannadies or Wanna Dies?
Wanna Dies? Well, I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of it. Good song, though. Great song. Just quickly, fellas, just on the nips thing. People are texting in on 3483. I'm not sure if they are being nice, though.
Okay.
Someone here suggesting that on Anzac Day I could just have one nipple out.
They're like Anzac poppy nipples.
Just have one poppy out.
Yeah.
Someone here saying I should be proud no one's got nips like you. I guess that's good.
That's true.
Well, they are massively unique.
Do you have to say massively? My mum makes smaller peanut brownies than Keyzie's nips.
I'd say they're one of a kind, but there's two of them.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah. The fact that they're both the same size is extraordinary.
Actually, one's slightly bigger.
This one here says, Keyzie, keep your head up, little fella. The nation loves you and your nips. And I think that's true.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
So good. All right, fellas, I'm feeling loved. It's good stuff. Hey, what's coming up after 5, Jase?
We've got a bit of improv. And apparently, the fellas from the ACC get stuck into old Hoytey J.
They do.
Thanks to you bastards.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope you're getting through your hump day tickety boo. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Night and Day.
I just tried to match you there, Hoytey J.
Yeah.
Hope you don't mind, brother.
No, that was really good, I thought.
Yeah.
And then I just matched Mogi.
Wow.
No, that was great.
Hey, what's the night and day special today, Keyzie?
I do that after...
is it after 6?
Oh, no, it's come through early.
Oh,
wow.
thank God.
Is it a Hoytey J
It's a
special?
Hoytey J special. It's basically just like 7 nudie mags.
Yeah. A whole bunch of smut.
It's just smut.
Do they sell nudie mags still, do they?
No, they've had to start bringing it in for the Hoytey J special.
Yeah.
7 different nudie mags, some really dark glasses that are really good for perving through.
A trench coat.
Yeah.
A trench coat so you can flash people.
What else?
How much does that go? So a trench coat, dirty mags, dark glasses, what else?
And like a hat, like a fedora type hat that you wear low.
Yeah.
All that for $12.99.
Jeez, that's a deal, man.
That's bloody good, especially the trench coat. Sheesh.
I just want to remind everyone, by the way, everyone that texts in on 3483 goes in the draw for a $50 night day voucher.
Do they?
Jeez,
Yes.
you could buy almost 4 Hoytey J specials.
Yeah.
Hey, now coming up, apparently the fellas in the ACC have a real go at Hoytey J.
It's
Yeah,
off
they
the
do.
Agenda podcast.
After I got hung out to dry by my own backbone colleagues.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is this about you stealing chips, man? Because I didn't make you do it.
Yeah, that's true. And I didn't record it.
Pug's
And I
recorded
didn't
it.
vote you in that it should be chucked up on Instagram.
Yeah, nah. Well, I did, but...
My hands are clean.
Here's the Foo Fighters.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Oh, yes, indeed. Super Groove there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon, 13 minutes past 5 o'clock.
Fellas, yesterday on the drive home, I like to listen to. I listened to podcasts. Yesterday, I listened to the award-winning sports podcast, The Agenda.
Yes.
Variously hosted by different members of the ACC. Yesterday it was Mike Lane and Matt Heath. And I pushed play, and almost immediately, they launched into a tirade of abuse against one Hoytey J.
Who is Jason Hoyte been using these? The volume is like I just got noise sickness for how loud these headphones are.
Jeez, he needs some sort of, like Home D bracelet that doesn't allow him into certain places because he is just basically barging into the ACC office and stealing all our Snackachangy chips.
Right, yeah.
And those Snackachangy chips are for events and for other people more important than him. And there's video evidence of him goes out and he slices it open with a box and he reaches his hand and slizzes it out and then puts it back down again.
Also, how deaf is the man? Because if he has his headphones on a volume that I actually got noise sickness, I actually nearly throw up how loud he listens to headphones.
Maybe that's the issue because I've told him so many times, stop stealing those chips. Maybe he can't hear me.
The audacity. You guys know what it's like every time I used to come up, because I sit in the same place old Matty used to sit here for the breakfast show.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'd come in and put the headphones on. We would go to air, wouldn't we, Keyzie? And my head would nearly explode.
That's right.
Because it was turned up. And no one else used this little area other than Matt here.
Now, can I say, though, the audio from yesterday's podcast, he does reference that. He said, I used to sit in the same seat, and he goes, every morning I would come in, and my ears... And as I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, Jason had something to say about this.
So every morning he comes in and goes, wow, Jason's headphones are so loud. And every night you come in and blame him.
Yeah.
But you're both deaf.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I mean, I don't know if I'm deaf. I sometimes am selective in what I hear. But as to the accusation, I mean, seriously, fellas, what can I say?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah.
I've thrown myself under the bus for you guys.
It's not for us.
Because you're peckish, because you need some snacks. Then Pugsan stabs me brutally in the back by filming it undercover and posting it. And I acknowledge 97% of the punters out there wanted the video released. What can I say? I have no defence.
No, that is true. You don't have any defence. But it's disappointing that it's gotten to the point where people are saying that you actually need to be, physically barred from certain areas. They're asking to have additional security put on the ACC studio, the ACC storeroom.
Yeah.
At no small expense to the company, might I add, just because you can't control yourself, Jase.
Can I just say, it is a bit of a weird setup they're running where the ACC office is right here. We can see it through the window.
Don't give Jason out.
And then the ACC, they sit on the other side of the building. So at any time, they have no idea what's going on in that office.
Can I also make the point too that my addiction is no excuse? I need to take responsibility for my actions.
Thank you. And
just because I happen to be addicted to chippies, that's no excuse for my blatant and brazen theft.
Thank you.
And I want to apologise to the ACC.
Well, do it then. Don't just say I want to apologise. Say sorry.
To the general public out there.
Sure.
To you fellas for letting the team down. I'm not apologising to Pugsan, the piece of...
Yeah, well, the thing is, Jase, I don't think you know how to make an apology.
No.
Maybe we'll do an improv next, Keyzie. You and I can show Hoytey J how it's done, how he needs to approach it. A sit-down with probably Mike Lane, head of the ACC.
Like an HR-type meeting.
An HR-type meeting where you've got to have a bit of a come-to-Jesus moment and identify your problem and own up.
Can I just... Two things. Firstly, you still haven't said sorry. You've just said, I apologise, which isn't an apology.
Oh, he's actually said, I'd like to apologise.
Yeah, so it's even worse.
Can I...
Secondly, hang on. Are you planning on stopping stealing chips at any point?
Well, I was just going to say, can I be honest with you fellas? I'm thinking of nicking something right now.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Talking heads here on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 26 minutes past 5 o'clock, which means it's time for this.
Quiet on set.
Sound speed!
Lights.
Camera!
Action.
Now it's time for the Big Show Improv! Well, I thought what would be fitting, actually, fellas, after listening to the ACC giving old Hoytey Jay a serve there for stealing their chips from the ACC storeroom.
And for being deaf.
And for being deaf. We might reenact a similar type scenario. So I'm thinking, Keyzie, you're playing a grumpy and grizzled Mike Lane.
Okay, the boss of the ACC,
The
right.
boss of the ACC. And Mogi, you're the man himself, Hoytey Jay.
Oh, wow, what an honour.
So the scenario is Hoytey Jay sneaked into the ACC room. He's closed the door behind him.
Yeah.
He's rummaging deep in a box when all of a sudden the door opens and in comes an infuriated Mike Lane.
All right, a box of chips, you mean, right?
Box,
To
yes.
steal the chips, just for those that have just joined us. All right, so we've got some office sound effects here. That sounds great, Pugs. Good work, mate. It's good shit. Ready?
And action.
Hoyte! What the hell are you doing?
Oh, g'day, mate.
No, don't you g'day, mate, me.
Indeed.
I've
Indeed.
caught you red-handed stealing our chips. Those are not for your consumption. They're actually for prize winners, mate. Have you thought about that?
Sorry?
Have you thought about that, you deaf prick?
Sorry?
If you're going to steal our chips, all right, the least you can do is a good job on the BYC podcast. I heard the latest one, it was shit.
I'm not, look, Lane, I'm not stealing your chips, mate. And in fact, even if I was, I think I'd be entitled to them.
Yeah, you're an entitled prick, aren't you?
Because the reason I feel like I'm entitled to them because it wasn't for me, where would you be?
All of a sudden, Lane has an idea of how he might be able to make Hoytey Jay pay him back.
Well, I tell you what, Hoytey Jay, those chips are worth about $4, $5, $6, $7 a pop.
Yeah,
He suddenly closes the door behind him and starts undoing the belt on his pants.
I can help you with that. I can help you with that,
mate.
Mike Lane.
No, you've done...
No, don't you do it, mate. I'll do it. Zip.
Oh, no, I was going to use it to...
Pull down pants.
I was going to use the belt to hit you.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
I'm bloody good at this, mate. I've been doing this for years.
Insane!
Far out. Why would you narrate a situation where you and G Lane get weird together in a room? Like, it was 100%
Nothing weird
your
about
choice.
it.
There's nothing
Perfectly normal.
It's
No, it is
absolutely
a bit
normal,
weird.
Keyzie. What are you talking about?
Well, you're both in a relationship.
Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know, what happens in the office stays in the office.
Really?
mate,
Is
you
that
know
the
what I'm
rule?
saying?
That's not true, as evidenced by the fact that what happened in the office when you stole all those chips is now all across the internet.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Chemical Brothers there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 5:36, fellas.
38.
Oh, 38. I'm wearing old Pugsan's yellow sunnies.
You look hot.
Thanks, man. And I can't actually see anything, but I look cool.
But usually without your regular glasses on, you can't see anything anyway.
There's some truth in that.
But
Yeah,
now
there is some
everything's
truth.
just a yellow blur.
Fellas, if you don't mind, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
And it's to do with Uber
Right.
and something that really annoys the shit out of me about it.
So does it bug you, or do you have a bone to pick with it?
It just annoys me.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been bugging me. Now, when you catch an Uber from the airport, for example,
Yes.
Mogi, you get dropped off at the same place. You get picked up at the same place.
Yeah, the
Oh.
drop-off
You know what I
zone.
mean? The drop-off zone.
Oh, yeah.
The drop zone.
But for some reason, and I don't know if it's just me, but it always happens to me. Whenever I order an Uber wherever else I am in the world, you go blah, 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 blah. This is where I am. Location, I want to go to the airport or whatever. Every single time, it seems to me, Uber gets back to me and goes, yes, we've got you. You get your driver, you get your car, it's all tickety-boo. And every bloody time, their pickup point is like a block away or somewhere down the street or around the corner and then down the next street. It happens every time to me, and it does my head in. I don't understand why they do that. Like, for example, I was at Ridge's Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And ordered an Uber to go to the airport. And they said, yeah, great, this is your pickup point. And it was literally a block down the road. And it's like, why can't you just pick me up from Ridges?
That seems bizarre.
When you're at home, do they pick you up from your house?
No, they don't. They pick me up from like halfway down the street.
Yeah, this is definitely a you issue.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
100%
I've never
a you
heard of
issue.
this.
Okay,
Because,
that's really interesting.
Like any other thing, a taxi can pick you up from your house.
Yes.
So it would just pull into your driveway.
That's right. Yeah, well, this is why it's doing my head in, and I'm thinking, is it just me?
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I'm not joking here. It happens every single time.
Right, so the Ridges one's interesting because that's just a hotel. There's plenty of space to pull over. There's even like a drive-in drop-off point there. It's designed for people to be dropped off.
Exactly.
So I think it's the only thing in my brain that's saying how it's worked is when you've opened Uber, you've been around the corner somewhere, and then by the time you've booked the Uber, you've kept walking, you've got to your hotel, it still thinks you're where you opened it.
No, I opened it in the lobby.
Yeah.
And so it gets to the point where I have to message my Uber driver and say, can you just pick me up from the front entrance? I'm not walking a block around the road, down the road, so that you can pick me up. But so okay, it is only me. That doesn't make any sense. It drives me nuts.
The other thing that you can do is you can just move the pin.
Yes. I know, I do that.
You had a crack at that, didn't you?
Like the same thing happened when I was over in Sydney. I'd get an Uber, my wife and I, and I'd say I was at this hotel or whatever, and for some reason, again, it's like a block away or down the road somewhere, and I'm annoyed that it's only me that it happens to now that I know that.
Well, I know that Keyzie will be desperate to fix this for you.
Yeah, can you fix it for me, Keyzie?
I actually have no solutions. I don't know. I'd get a new phone.
Well, I wonder if anyone else out there actually does have that problem, because surely it must happen to someone else.
Yeah, we can ask.
3483 is the number to text. $50 9-day vouchers up for grabs. You can also call us on 0800 Hauraki and join in the conversation, New Zealand.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Thanks, man.
It's good from you, Keyzie.
Thanks, man. I say it pretty much every day.
Hey, he's a bit of Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty.
Tune.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Welcome back, you massive backbones. This is the Big Show, brought to you by Night.
Well, Keyzie, if you're going to take the piss, man, don't bother.
What do you mean, man? I was taking that bloody dead serious.
Hey, the podcast outro is bonus material.
Don't just
we
move
do every single day. It's a warm up to the show. You can listen to it as a podcast separately
Yes.
from the highlights of the show podcast.
Yes.
Which is different, obviously. Today,
Yes.
I can't specifically remember what we were talking about, but I remember it was quite constructive. It felt like it was quite a constructive chat.
Really?
But what is the clip today, Keyzie?
Just says love yourself.
Well, there you go.
I don't remember what that is about at all.
I remember where we were when we recorded it, but other than that...
Yeah, we were
Yes.
here. It comes out at 7:30 tonight. Search Hauraki Big Show wherever you get your pods from.
I don't usually listen to the shit that I'm in. But I've
But
been
you like watching yourself.
No, I
You
don't.
always have.
I've never liked
That's
watching
why
myself either.
Jace has never watched an episode of Dog Squad, but he's watched every episode of Brokenwood.
No, he watches Dog Squad, but he doesn't have the pictures on. He just listens to it.
Yeah.
I
He's got
just-
the podcast version.
Yeah.
He just goes, it's good. You are a big fan of yourself, though, eh?
good.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You're obsessed with yourself, Hoytey J. Makes me
here's the thing: is that a lot of people think that I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm even worse than
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I had so many accidents in the car nearly because I was staring at myself in the rear vision mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see what I'm like with this thing here, with this chest of
This mirror
drawers here.
here.
There's a mirror. I'm staring at myself constantly.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I walk past shops and I'm checking out my side busies. I'm checking out everything. That's just the kind of guy I am, man.
And you
Yeah.
can check
I am
out
full of
Jase.
it.
You can check out Jase checking himself out. The Hauraki Big Show podcast every night, 7:30.
Nicely closed off there, Keyzie.
Thanks, fellas.
Close the loop there, brother.
Thanks, boys.
That's how you do it, brother.
Thanks,
Because you can
pals.
see old Hoytey Joe's going to bang on for moons there, couldn't you?
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
But you guys think I'm
Okay,
pretty
wrap
good
it
at
up.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Faith No More there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. But we've got breaking news.
This is breaking news.
A daycare in Tauranga has apologised
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
after 4 of the little chillins that were in there, little kids, escaped. So 4 kids escaped from a daycare.
Yeah.
They were unharmed. They were found. They escaped.
Did you say chillins?
Little chillins, little
Chitlets.
kids, little chiclets, little pups,
I thought you were
Crackers.
little
What?
crackers.
I thought you were sort of referring to Chilean children.
They might have been a Chilean.
We don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
Chilean, yeah.
I don't see why that matters, Jace.
Don't know why race has to always come into it for
Literally
you, but
every show.
I'm sorry, fellas.
Oh no, it says here one of them was Chilean.
Oh, okay, cool.
They escaped through a rear gate which was faulty, so it was
Rear
the
gate.
gate's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because usually they have a swipe. They need their swipies, the kids, to get out, eh?
nowadays that's right. So the kids will all have like a sort of a password and an account in the what's it called, like the intranet,
No, the internet.
Oh,
business
yeah,
intranet, and it'll have their password and they'll have a pin and blah, and they'll swipe in and out of the daycare. You're right.
Yes.
These chillins, one of which is Chilean, broke out of the back door. Once again, unharmed.
When you say broke out, it means he walked to the gate. This is a toddler. Walked to the gate and opened it.
yeah.
There was no breaking out, was there? It was just they didn't close the gate. And so he's walked out
Well,
the
no,
door.
it says here that the gate was faulty, and
Yeah.
they've since replaced the gate.
Sure.
Yeah, so he's walked up to a gate,
Opened it.
opened the gate.
Yeah, because he's got the memory of when he walked in through the other way. Right?
But he's a
And he was like,
toddler.
I'm off.
But it'll probably be one of those
I've
gates.
had it with this joint.
But hang on, wasn't it 4 of them?
It was 4 of them.
And he
Yeah,
just goes
yeah.
to his mates, look, they left the gates open, the brains.
Yeah.
We're off.
It would be like,
Let's go to the pub.
Well, I'm just reading here further. It says the way they actually got out and got to the pub was they all sort of were one on top of each other with a big trench coat on.
With a trench coat. That works every time.
Yeah, we used to do that back
And
in the day
hat.
too.
They put the hat on.
Yeah.
I once escaped my daycare disguised as a cow
Right.
with my mate Geordie.
So you and Geordie,
Yes.
you're how old?
Well, I was 4.
Yeah. So he was you were the front and he was the back of
No,
what were
I
you?
was the arse end.
Of the cow.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
what? So when you were dressed up as the cow,
Well, the funny thing about it is, Keyzie, when you're in a daycare and you're dressed up as a cow, not only can you escape, but it sends the daycare and the teachers into a panic, and they try and get you out. So they actually help you with the escape because
Right.
they're worried that you're going to trample the other kids.
I just
Thank
don't
you,
know.
Mogi.
I just don't know if 2 4-year-olds and a cow. How old was Geordie? Was he 4 as well?
He was 3, but this is
He
the
was-
other
but
thing.
he was built like a brick shithouse. He
Oh,
looked
he
like a
was big.
6-year-old.
Well, at 3.
He was
Yeah, he
quite
looked
a
like a
weird
6-year-old,
looking,
yeah.
he was a weird looking kid. But here's the lovely thing about it actually, was that we spent like months making the cow outfit. You know,
Right.
bit by bit.
In arts and crafts.
Yeah, behind the teacher's back.
Yeah,
so
right.
then we'd hide it away every night. We'd go, just leave that there.
Yeah.
So how did you open the gate, or did they open it for you and
They
shoo
opened
you
it out
out?
because they were like, oh my God, there's a cow
Yeah.
there. And we were like,
But then you guys got lost, and that you ended up on the motorway.
yeah. Poor old.
Was it by the motorway?
Got shut down in the traffic. They had to shut down the motorway.
Yeah.
And eventually you were taken down with a tranquilizer gun.
Yeah, well, it was my mate at the front who
Geordie?
Geordie.
Yeah, right. And so
Uh,
what? And then they shot you. Then you went down, and then they were like, "Hang on, this is just 2 4-year-olds."
That's a true
I
story.
mean, they look
actually.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
They tranquilise it. It hit Geordie straight in the head. The tranquilizer lives with his mum and Huntley.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
ACDC there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. Let's talk TV. What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
so
Really
good.
good from you, Jace.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, fellas.
Hey, fellas, we went to the movies last night, fellas.
Oh, yes, of course, you did.
fellas. A Complete Unknown is the name of the film from the lyric Rolling Stone, isn't it? Like
Wow,
A Complete
okay.
Unknown from Bob Dylan there, and played by, it's got Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong in it. Edward Norton, Elle Fanning as well. Really enjoyed it actually.
Oh wow!
Which I wasn't expecting because I don't like Bob Dylan.
No.
But I might go back and have a listen. I was never a fan of his singing style, that nasally, whiny sort of a setup there.
Yes.
And there are moments in this which are quite funny because they sell him as being the coolest man on the planet. No helmet, sunnies on, riding a motorbike around the place.
Yeah, like Keyzie.
Pretty cool. And I found that funny because that's not how I think about Bob Dylan.
No.
But he probably was that back in the day. It was just hard for me to,
Well, the last
see
thing
it.
I've seen of Bob Dylan was him singing in that Live Aid doco.
When he was over it, yeah.
When he just like sort of awkward.
Yeah.
But Hurricane is a great song by him.
And that's what's good about it is Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong. He was first meant to make this about 5 or 6 years ago, but then it didn't happen for whatever reason. But it was always going to. But he spent the last 5 or 6 years learning the 30 songs that he knew was going to be in the film.
Yeah.
So he's just been practicing the hell out, and he's very, very good.
Oh wow, that's great.
He is very, very good. And there's a woman in it playing Joan Baez, the actress, is very good. That plays her as well, Monica Barbaro. But yeah, it's really good.
Oh wow!
It changed my mind about it, and he has got some tunes, man. Absolutely. And it's directed by James Mangold, who's a very good director. He did Logan. He did the Wolverine. Yep. So he's a really good director. It's a good thing, and it was exactly that. Go along to it. You're sitting in a cinema. You're forced to watch it. And I loved it. It was great. I had a hell of a lot of popcorn.
Yeah,
it's not out yet though. It's out like tomorrow or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be about right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. Maybe based on a true story too. Maybe my wife.
Now, I only saw it was a full cinema. I saw 2 women walk out.
Right,
A
okay.
young woman walk out. And
Yes.
if you don't know anything about Bob Dylan, you probably will.
I finished up watching American Primeval last night.
Oh,
the series.
yes.
And what I find really interesting about it is they talk about the critics were divided. I found it an excellent series.
Right.
And I'm a little bit confused about what they're divided about.
Yes.
If you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's a really grim, brutal, realistic, well-acted series, which even my wife, who's not into the violence and all that sort of stuff, she was pretty into it as well.
Yeah.
Highly recommended by Hoytey, Jay. I can't imagine. I'm trying to think of what the criticism would be, and I can't think of what it would be.
What platform?
That's Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, that one.
Your wife would hate it though, Keyzie.
Yeah.
No question.
I watched an episode of Ludwig on TVNZ Plus.
Oh, yes.
David Mitchell murder mystery type thing. Once again, reiterate, I think you guys will hate it. The basic premise is so stupid that you have to just get over that, and it turns into just a fun murder mystery of a guy who's a genius at puzzle solving. All of a sudden has to be this detective, and turns out to be really good at solving crimes because they're like big puzzles, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a classic
Yeah, so I
stupid
couldn't work
setup.
that out.
I'll probably give that a skip, actually.
Yeah,
Keyzie,
definitely
you know what I'm
do
saying?
not watch it, but my wife enjoys it, and I like watching stuff with her if she's happy, so it was great. Hour long, TVNZ Plus, 6 episodes.
Is it an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so check it out.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Jet there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. Now, surf and turf. Not the meal, but actually your chance to win either a surfboard,
Just on
an
the meal.
amazing
Sorry.
surfboard, and or an amazing set of golf clubs. Yes, Keyzie.
Not and or, just or. You can't win and the surfboard and the golf clubs. Surf and turf. Mike, you hate fruit on meat.
Yep.
You know, like a chicken breast stuffed with cranberry, you'd hate that.
Yes.
Are you okay with like prawns on a steak, surf and turf?
I do think it's weird. I'm more okay with that than I am with fruit.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's weird. I think it is weird.
Like even
prawns on a
like, do you have to mingle even like chicken and bacon on a burger?
chicken and bacon's all good.
That's all good, right?
That makes sense.
Still weird though. Do you have to have 2 different animals in your burger? You know what
Do
I mean?
I have to?
Nah.
You know what I think happened with the surf and turf? I think a chef one day got really steamed, and the restaurant had closed, and they brought all the food back from the dining room, and someone hadn't finished their steak, and someone hadn't finished their seafood meal, and he was really steamed, and he just scraped it all on the same plate and just started eating it because he didn't want to waste it.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
people do that?
Because he hated food waste. And he was eating the prawns and the scallops and the steak, and he was like, you know what, you guys, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a surf and turf there. I'm going to put that on the menu.
Did you say surf and turf?
Yeah.
Oh, we're actually running a promo on
That's
Hauraki
right,
at the
forgot
moment.
about
that. Oh, you're joking.
Where you could win a surfboard and or some golf clubs. But just or golf clubs. It's one or the other. Depending on what your hobby is over summer, text the word surf if you'd like to win a surfboard, or turf if you'd like to win a brand new set of golf clubs through to 3483. It is all thanks to our mates at Super Liquor.
Man, they're good, aren't they? They've always
they're
got
good
something
bastards.
going on.
Yeah, they do.
Backbones.
Have you ever been in there, by the way? There's so much booze.
Is there?
Yeah, but like in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's super.
Responsibly.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Well, there you go, you massive backbones. Hey, listen, I want to make a little pledge to you. Can you go and check out our Instagram page, Hauraki Big Show, also our podcast. If you don't listen to our podcast, make sure you get involved in that because they're bloody great, aren't they, fellas?
Oh,
They certainly are, Jase. Like, for example, if you're in your car right now and you've got, oh, damn, I've just missed the Big Show.
Yes.
Oh.
You can search Hauraki Big Show wherever you get podcasts from. Every single show we've ever done is there available for your
Wow.
listening pleasure, as put together by Pugson.
wow.
Meal out on the deck tonight, I'm feeling for you, Mogi.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you might be right. My
Yes.
brother-in-law's got a couple of mates coming around and he's cooking dinner for everybody.
Oh.
So, yeah, it could be out on the deck.
Isn't he staying with you or something
He
at the
is
moment?
till the end of February. There.
All right.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Is he paying rent in that? Is he-
No, well, he's looking after our kid at the moment.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so what he does is he chucks her in front of the TV at 7 o'clock in the morning and leaves her there.
Yeah, wow,
yeah,
the
it's
kids
good
love
shit,
that
man.
stuff,
Babysitting,
mate.
man. That's all you got to do.
Never did my kids any harm.
They loved it.
Yes. What are you up to, Keyzie?
Tonight I will be going for a walk with my wife after dinner, help with digestion. We'll probably have a little bit of chocolate and watch another episode of that murder
Do we need to
mystery
do
on
this break?
What?
We could just pre-record this break.
Well, hang
it's the
on.
same thing every night.
Yeah, it's so good.
What do you mean, a little bit of chocolate? Whatever. The
we've-
whole bar.
No, we've got the special chocolate that we got for Christmas.
What's so special about it?
And the agreement is very expensive, and it's European. And the agreement is we're only allowed to have some if the other person's having some as well, so we save it for a treat every night.
Far out.
I'm just going to go home, talk to my wife, watch a bit of
Who
Telly,
asked
eat some food, go to bed.
Good. So that's
Sweet.
actually what you're going to do,
All
right?
right.
Yep, totally.
See you
Hey,
then.
See you later. Tune in tomorrow.